Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
You're a really dull class.
We're going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, which has a beautiful ring.
Biden crime family.
Why? You're getting nervous, man.
How dare you?
And Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys.
You're wrong.
Puerto Rico. I will never apologize for standing up for an LBT. I intend to resign as party leader. LGBTQ2 plus kids' rights.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
As prime minister. The level of admiration I actually have for China.
Oh, son of a...
But he called her a third-rate politician. He said there are communists involved, and you guys might like that.
Good morning. Sunday morning.
Shut up, silly woman. America will never be a socialist country.
I'm in trouble.
America was founded on liberty and independence and not government coercion, domination, and control.
To collapse the liberal international order. He is the smartest man I know. You know the thing.
It's the Donald! Oh my God!
No, but it's not about, I know.
Everybody's always blaming me for everything.
Called the wrap-up smear.
It's estimated that 200 million people have died, probably by the time I finish this talk.
Please clap.
Welcome. It went a little long, but I think it was worth it.
I liked it. That was great.
All right. Happy to have everyone here. We got a new face finally on camera. I kicked someone else in the butt and finally got him in front of a camera. I don't know why he's sitting second, though. I'm sorry. I apologize, but ABF's got seniority around here.
Pecking order for sure.
I don't mind either way. Give him second seat.
Sorry to start off power moving you all, but ABF already dropped fucking 20 gifties already. And everyone's seen these clips so many times, but Patriot over here has not seen a single one of these yet. So I'm looking forward to his reaction. So let's get him a good one.
Oh, is that what you want?
Yup.
Because that's how you get ants.
Yay.
It is. And you know who hates ants?
And why are there donuts everywhere?
Lana did that.
Do you want ants? Because that's how you get ants.
All right. ABF, pleasure to have you here. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. I just got done watching Equilibrium over on the Dually stream.
Oh, man. That's one I had obviously seen and watched again recently. It holds up so hard. And, everyone gun caught us at least once while or after watching it, right?
It's kind of ridiculous, but it's fun how ridiculous it is.
All just stand there and die. They don't do anything. They just, watch him. They're just, mesmerized. What is this idiot doing? Saving the day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. And the whole taking the pill to dull your emotions, 1000% stealing that from my future comic book and not giving them any credit whatsoever.
It's been done 1,000 times. You can take it. It's
Yes.
basically for use. So
I always assume Simpsons and South Park have already done it. Hayden, good to have you and your flesh tuber model. How you doing, buddy?
yes, I am flesh tuber for this week. Next week I will be back in my virtual skin, my natural environment. But,
Where you feel more comfortable.
Yeah. It's comfy, the way it fits. But no, I'm still trying to work out after the new year, trying to get into a swing with my channel and getting stuff going. But I am happy to be here. I'm happy we've got this show going, so can't wait to get into it tonight.
We finally get to talk about politics, and I finally got my buddy on here to talk about politics, so he doesn't have to call me and then me listen to him for an hour while he sits there and fiddles around and does stuff and forgets he's on a phone and talk about politics. Now we can actually do it on here. I'm gonna attempt to call him Patriot. I'm gonna call him by his actual name at least 12 times. How you doing, Patriot?
I'm doing good. Freezing, it's cold where we're
It is single freaking digits right now. I was really confused. I thought my ears were going out while I was driving my car. I think my bass wasn't working. I think the subs or whatever, do they does it get so cold they don't move and you don't have base?
The
cold
paper inside could theoretically freeze
if it were 7 degrees out. Because I don't have base anymore at the moment. Should I go see a doctor about that?
It's pretty cold in Arizona right now too.
Well, hey, I'm glad you're freezing your ass off and you're finally here. And man, I'm going to attempt to call you Patriot. I'm going to probably say Patriot too many times just so I can drill it into my brain. We got too much to talk about, so let's get into it. Pete Hegseth at confirmation hearing. My only special interest is the warfighter. And I don't know a lot about this guy, but I seem to like him. He seemed to do a good job. He did bend the knee, and literally him and Tom Cotton like made out and called each other Christian Zionists. It was a little weird.
That was very.
But other than that, he said a lot of good things. All right, so it is true that I don't have a similar biography to defense secretaries the last 30 years. But as President Trump also told me, we've repeatedly placed people atop the Pentagon with supposedly the right credentials, whether they're retired generals, academics, defense contractor execs. And where has it gotten us? Good question. He believes, and I humbly agree, that's time to give someone with dust on his boots the helm. A change agent, someone with no vested interest in certain companies or specific programs or approved narratives. My only special interest is the warfighter. My favorite part of this whole statement, deterring wars. I will say, there's the bend, they all with, over Israel, but Trump, to be fair, did not start any new wars. Finishing off Soleimani was probably the most he really did. So, hey, deterring wars sounds good. And if called upon, winning wars. They always end up as quagmires, though. Good luck with that. By ensuring our warriors never enter a fair fight, we let them win and then bring them home kablooey. And, Trump's got his problems and whatnot, but the way he enacts foreign policy, where he just whips his giant orange dick out and just waves it around, it's got my full support. Sure. ABF, you got any thoughts on Hegseth there and his qualifications?
I love the quote that you read there. I just hope that it comes true. So we'll have to actually witness it happen.
Patriot, you believe any of this confirmation talk?
I mean, I watched bits of it. I liked his interaction with Sheehy, but I mean, like ABF said, proof's in the pudding. They all talk good talks.
Yeah, and still, I'd rather that outsider, actual veteran. Here, and we'll actually get to his credentials were really good here, and then we'll send it over to Hayden. Like many of my generation, I've been there. I've led troops in combat, been on patrol for days, pulled the trigger down range, heard bullets whiz by, flex cuffed insurgents, goddamn terrorists, called in close air support, led med evacs, dodged IEDs, pulled out dead bodies, and knelt before a battlefield cross. This is not academic for me. This is my life. I led then, and I will lead now. Sounds a whole lot better to me than a bunch of DEI officers. Hayden, you got any thoughts?
So to me, it seems like Hegseth is actually being somebody that's put into this position that may be the first in around 100 years that has actually seen live combat and been on the ground while combat was happening. That's a good thing. Those are the people that we need running these bureaucratic organizations, because they trim the fat and then they go in and say, no, what matters is bringing our troops home. And I really like that quote that he had where he said, deterring wars, and if called upon, winning them. That means there's a lot of the time that we don't have to get involved in war. We don't have to have troops on the ground. And he's somebody who knows that this can be handled at a bureaucratic level, and we can keep Americans safe.
Trump's orange dick just flopping around is basically a nuclear weapon. ABF, you got any thoughts?
Yeah, no, we need to stay out of wars, and I do think that Trump, through foreign policy, hopefully we won't have to do anything other than that.
Mm-hmm. Economics, baby. And that's what we'll get to his Trump's imperialism with Greenland. I'm going to take you over. Yeah, no, now we just got defense and economic treaties and stuff like that, and mineral rights and what have you. And it's that's what he actually wanted, which is why he flops it all around and says, I'm going to invade your ass. But really, he just it's a negotiating tactic.
Well, the best negotiating tactic is when he hands a manila envelope to someone, and it's a it's basically a satellite photo of their own house.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
You know what that means.
Yeah. Or my nukes are bigger than your nukes and they actually work. I support that. All right, I'm going to read a little bit and then we'll throw it to you, Patriot. He also pledged to be laser focused on war fighting, lethality, meritocracy, standards, and readiness.
Now, I just want to point out real quick how important it is that he said war fighting, then lethality. Because we have had a problem since Vietnam of not being lethal in our execution whenever we go overseas to try to accomplish some kind of a goal.
They wouldn't let us win.
Well, that was our generals. They weren't allowing us to use the most lethal tactics, and they were stalling things out, making them take longer. And that's whenever our military industrial complex was really in its like heyday of building up. And we've never left that. So the fact that he mentioned lethality second, that's very promising to me.
Patriot, got any thoughts? Yeah, lethality time, baby. All right, so America First national security goals will remain patriotically apolitical and stridently constitutional. He's talking about wanting to bring back all the people who got canned for not taking the vax. Unlike the current administration, politics should play no part in military matters. We're not Republicans or Democrats. We're American warriors. Our standards will be high and they will be equal, not equitable. That is a very different word. That alone sounds good. Works for me. We need to make sure every warrior is fully qualified on their assigned weapon system. Every pilot's fully blah, 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 merit and all this stuff. So here's the thing. They're having a horrible recruiting goal. They're not bringing anyone in because of all the woke crap and amongst many other things. If you want to actually bring people in, he's the sort of guy that could actually do some recruiting, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah. Not a guy in a dress with a dog mask.
He's got literally he's got a whole sleeve of like America fuck yes tattoos. That will recruit people.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Of course, you'll never believe this, but the Democrats went crazy. All right. So have you ever heard about the whole Senator, when did you stop beating your wife?
Yes.
That whole fallacy. Senator Tim Kaine, Hillary Clinton's VP running mate, asked him if he ever beat any of his wives. They did it. He did the thing. Oh my God. Oh, Pocahontas over here feigned outrage over his past remarks from 2013 that women should not serve in an infantry capacity in the military. Anyone else got any thoughts on women in the military?
No place
thanks.
to agree.
Well, you better talk about the lethality of the military, and if you're choosing if you're trying to just fill positions with X, Y, or Z, that's does it really add to the lethality?
There's many ways to serve your country, and being in the way is not the greatest way to do it.
Absolutely. Like women have a problem with the curvature of their hips and legs. And whenever they're on the front line in battle, they actually oftentimes suffer more hip and leg injuries than men do. That's just a biological fact.
Built different. Get good, women.
Well, yeah, because the gear that military soldiers have to carry around is really heavy. So
I believe there have been 4 female Marines, frontline fighters in U.S. history, and it started in 2017. And I don't know what the current number is, but I can think of 4 Marines that were the spearhead of our military. So I don't know how far we've gone with that since then.
Well, old Kirsten Gillibrand accused him of being brutal and mean for calling for women and men to meet the same military standards.
Kirsten Gillibrand's a retard.
Yes, a long time sufferer of full-blown retardation.
Also, everybody's pointing out how much it looks like she's aged.
The
last 5 years.
I did not know that was her.
I know, same.
It doesn't look like her at all. But she had the transgenders attacking her in the bathroom a couple of years ago because she had said something negative about men being in women's restrooms, and then she got full blown pulled back into the circle.
And wait, Gillibrand, is that some of your riffraff ABF? Where's she from? Oh no, New York. Oh no, New York. I was thinking of I was thinking of that other broad. All right, and then Moxie, I got to get the hat to make it totally work though. Would you explain what a jag off is? ABF, let me zoom in for you. You want to take this one for me, buddy? Could you explain what a jag off is, please?
I think they misspelled officer.
Oh, I don't think I need to, sir. The men and women watching understand it would be a JAG officer who puts his or her own priorities in front of the war fighters. Hayden, what do you say?
Yeah, I was gonna say it turns into it's a legal and bureaucratic thing where the lawyers in the military start getting into, oh, we have to do things this way, we have to do things that way because of their personal politics and not what is actually beneficial to the soldiers that are fighting.
But it's not fair to LGBT ABF, who I totally forgot I had modded.
Isaac, I only called you gay like 2 times today. Would you give it a rest?
Yeah, you jag off. All right, let's see. Oh, here's another one. The hypocrisy of this one really struck me. Maisie Hirono of Hawaii asked Hegseth if he would resign if he was caught drinking on the job. Would Nancy Pelosi resign for drinking on the job every single day? Would Kamala?
Without Kamala Harris?
Yeah, I don't understand what's happening here.
No, it's because the rumors went around about a month, 2 months ago that he had a drinking problem, but that just means that he enjoys having a drink every once in a while. We know how these people position everything.
Kavanaugh.
Exactly.
Matt Gaetz, who actually, because he partied a little too much, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then let's see. What's JD Vance have to say about this? I find this grandstanding from Senate Democrats over the Hegseth confirmation perplexing. Yeah, well, they're full-blown retarded, drunk, and evil. We haven't won a war in 3 decades, and we have a major recruitment challenge. Hegseth is surely not more of the same, and that's good. Yeah, that's how it often is. It's like, Trump, he's obviously not perfect, but he is definitely a whole lot better than the other options, which normally is a lot of holding your nose, but Trump, he's coming out swinging, and we'll have to talk about that. Actually, we can talk about that now. Yeah, Pedro, I'll go to you since you have talked in a second. Day one, he's apparently got 100 executive orders coming. He's coming out swinging. I think that's super important. You got any thoughts on that, Patriot? Day one.
I keep saying day one needs to be unclassifying all these documents. They keep saying, so we have something tangible that they're doing for us. Because all these other things, procedural things, are going to take so much time. We need instant gratification. We got lied to so much before. Give us something tangible right out of the gate.
Some meat. They need to give us some meat.
Absolutely.
I think it's going to be like a freaking advent calendar for the next 4 years, where we get something new every single day.
I hope. I really hope.
I hope so.
We're not going to run out of time.
Start with JFK because it's the older one. We wanted the whole thing declassified. Give us that as a little taste test on day one. And then after that,
about it.
Let's go. Just open the floodgates. He's said multiple times, the American citizens deserve to know what's going on. The government shouldn't be keeping shit from us.
Absolutely not.
Well, there's actually a guy, he was just on Alex Jones today. I'm trying to look it up, where they do have some new footage, and it's a Democrat basically admitting that LBJ had him assassinated. So yeah, I think they are already working on getting that, or that will probably be the one that maybe actually hits the mainstream a bit.
I saw Alex Jones reposted some very recently released clip of the JFK assassination.
Well, in the Rogan Trump interview, he talked about how he was going to declassify it. He said it was going to affect a couple people because they're still breathing.
Yeah.
And it's going to affect their lives. But he said that it's more important to get it out there, and that was going to be one of his things he was going to do.
Yeah, because he said he was going to do it the first his first time around, but then he said his hands were tied or whatever that's supposed to mean.
Yeah.
And this is in June last year. Trump promises release of all classified files on JFK, 9/11, Epstein if he wins second White House term. So would love to have a few more campaign promises kept. The 2016 campaign promises, we got some.
We want to see the photo of George Bush Jr. when his remote control flying it into the towers.
With all the dancing Israeli art, dude. Oh,
I know.
Wait, what is that called? Nice. Oh my god, that's hanging from my Joker dragon on purpose. 100%.
Excellent throw. Excellent throw.
100% on purpose. All right, so we got Ben Rhodes, the face of the deep state. Oh my god, this dude's national security guy. Ben Rhodes, MAGAfication of U.S. government is already starting, and that like MAGAfication of the government actually does sound pretty fucking based. I like that branding. All right, so, oh god, blah blah blah. Read comment from Mike Waltz, incoming national security advisor.
Hey, just for anybody who doesn't know, start at the beginning of this article because it tells you who this motherfucker is.
Oh, yeah. That is currently where I was at. Mike Waltz. This is from...
No. I mean, up at the top where it says former Obama administration national security advisor Ben Rhodes. This guy has been the face of the deep state since 2009 was when he was appointed.
Yeah, whenever they're like anonymous national security people and intelligence and military sources and all that, there's always the people who are always like leaking out, got the full blown TDS. Yeah, it's Ben Rhodes all over it.
Handlers.
Uh-huh. Yeah, essentially, yes. Gay Manchurian candidate. All right. So Mike Waltz is incoming told Breitbart that every intelligence official from the various departments and agencies across the federal government currently detailed to the National Security Council, so just everyone in the National Security Council, in the White House, with Joe Biden leaving, wow, this word is so fucking weird, will be expected to vacate the by 12:01 Eastern on Inauguration Day.
Good. Because that was a problem that we had whenever Trump got in 2016, whenever Trump took office. It took them something like 20 days to vacate. So this is a great movement on policy to say, no, by 12:01, you are out. You cannot take anything. You cannot destroy anything, because those were some accusations that were flying around after Trump took office from Obama, was that national security people were destroying shit for 20 days and nobody was ever going to know what was going on. And now we don't know if that was true, but that was what some of the accusations were.
There's all the stay behind networks as well. And like all the Obama people, where, because usually you do a lot of like swapping in and out, but you keep a lot of that bureaucracy, which stays forever over time. And that's basically what the deep state is. Whereas him saying all of you are gone, clean slate, that's what he needed to do the first time. Oh my God, so much would have worked out so much better. But
have you guys heard about the rumors of him running it from Mar-a-Lago and how the streets all around Mar-a-Lago are all shut down? I was reading a bunch of accounts on X of people who live in the area talking about how it's supposed to be closed down to 2029. If you get on Google Maps, apparently it shows that it's going to be closed down to 2029. All the roads around is.
Turn it into the White House, or
so I don't know. They're expanding the perimeter on the property for security, probably.
Probably.
Well, now they're going to let all the DJI drones fly around.
I witnessed that at the RNC. There was a perimeter when I first got there, and then 5 days later, when Trump showed up to speak, the perimeter had like opened up, expanded by like a couple blocks, and everybody was pissed off. They couldn't like get to their grocery store and stuff. So
somebody did try to kill him like 3 times that we know of over this past year. So
that we know
makes sense.
Yeah, that's what we will be discussing when we get to the Inauguration Day, because it's either going to be nothing or it's going to be wild AF. All right, back to old Deep State Rhodes. Immediately, what's the first thing he says? Yeah, I mean, this is Project 2025, Nicole. He said it. He said the thing. They'd actually given this a bit of a break. I wonder if they're bringing this back. God, I hope not. I mean, this is the transformation of the U.S. government in MAGA's image. USA, USA.
Good.
They said they were going to do it, even if Trump backed away from that at times, and now they're doing it. And some people might be watching this and thinking, well, why does the president get to pick everyone that works from at the NSC? The point is that, first of all, I don't know the politics, all these blah, blah, blah. Frankly, a lot of people that work on national security tend conservative, right? No, they tend neoconservative.
Yeah, exactly.
John Bolton. So it's not as if this is a bunch of left-wing Democrats who are filling the spaces of the intelligence community in the U.S. military. Good. But the other thing, Nicole, is what is going to occupy the time and attention of the NSC. And it's how they're not going to be able to respond to the climate emergencies because they're going to be too busy because of the magnification. Their first reaction will be, what's in Donald Trump's political interest? How can we make this, validate his narrative or punish his enemies? Not like, how do we best respond to this crisis? As LA is burning down right now, we just had the hurricane in North Carolina destroy everything. They keep failing super hard and then they just full blown project it onto you. Fire them all. Thank God. Good riddance. Bye, Felicia. Anyone else got some thoughts before we move on?
I would just say what he means by Donald Trump's political interests is the political interests of the majority of the citizens of the United States who elected Donald Trump to represent them.
Oh, that's what the elections are for.
Yeah, believe it or not, that's what it's supposed to be. But, yeah.
Well, elections have consequences, and what are we getting for Inauguration Day? Probably three best moments. We had Trump in the trash truck, Trump at McDonald's, and Trump after almost getting assassinated with the fist pump. Probably the three most iconic moments, and we're bringing one back for the inauguration. Apparently, it was the VP of Loadmaster who originally got him the truck for the stunt, so he's doing it again and bring it for the inauguration. But now it makes even more sense. He's going into D.C. with a trash truck. It's exactly Elon Musk walking through Twitter HQ with the sink.
With the toilet.
He's going to take out the trash. Oh my God. They need to get a bunch of the porta potty draining things for draining the swamp.
Yeah.
Oh.
I just can't believe he started out as a McDonald's fry chef and then moved on to garbage man and now he's president.
No, right?
Work hard in America and you can do anything.
Exactly.
2 assassination attempts. All right. That we know of. All right. So more inauguration on the sane side. We got Carrie Underwood's going to be singing America the Beautiful at Trump inauguration. So she obviously is country and she's Oklahoma, you're saying? So she's,
I think she's originally from Oklahoma, the reddest state in the nation, by the way. So she can make this kind of slight position change and it not hurt her in country music for sure.
And it's just showing, it's definitely not Taylor Swift singing. Always good to, even if I don't really care about it, it's good to see that celebrities are able to do this sort of stuff. And as we always say, we got to make them more afraid of our money. And when it comes to politics, our vote than the left's threats. And she obviously thinks she's safe enough from the left's threats.
Well, let's be honest. That move is probably going to help her career, not hurt it, unless she plans on becoming a pop star like Taylor Swift. Country music is listened on one side more than the other. So
the biggest country song right now is something about burning things down, and the dude just lost his home in the California fire and whatnot. It's all he's all political. That's the #1 country song. Yeah, we talk about various how nerds are more likely to get radicalized to actually understand. People are more likely to be based, like Christian people and whatnot, and definitely more based and more likely to be radicalized to us. Speaking of radicalization. Fortress DC, Trump's inauguration braces for the worst with troops, drones, and build the wall fences. All right, we'll go down the line. ABF, do you think inauguration day is just going to be nothing burger and we're going to listen to Carrie Underwood, or you think the left's going to go insane? ABF?
Oh, I'm sorry. Everything froze there for a second. I don't think that things are going to go perfectly smooth, but I don't think we're going to have a crazy day.
In 2016, Antifa was literally attacking Trump supporters, not letting them into the inauguration. Patriot, what do you think? We get crazy town or Carrie Underwood?
I think ABF's right. I think there might be some random, Palestine protesters outside or something like that, but I think it'll go pretty smoothly. I mean, I'm not going to hold my breath, but they're more slightly more calculated and strategic to do something where there's not as much security around so they could do more damage, I would think.
Hayden, you think some FBI stooges are going to plant some pipe bombs, Jan 6 style, or what are we thinking?
I think no pipe bombs this time around. What I think we're going to see, because if you look at what's happened over the last couple of years, Antifa is already getting worried, and Trump hasn't even taken office yet. They've slowed down a lot on their massive protests and a lot of the, mostly peaceful violence that they were causing. And now we're just seeing them kind of pop up in a corner somewhere and nobody really pays attention to them. I think that's basically what we're going to see on Inauguration Day.
Let's see. I think that, I didn't miss it. Yeah, like they're doing the pro-migrant activists hold Chicago rally to protest Trump deportation policy. I thought they were going to be a lot crazier, but we've entered an unpredictable age. I've put a lot of thought into this stuff, and I've game planned, and, like what if, like when we got another 2 years of Biden versus Trump and all this stuff, and most of it, I figured, we can win this in the end. I see how it's going to go. But Trump winning in 2024, it's a fucking mystery. And we are winning a little more than I was expecting us to be at this point. So, I don't... Mr. TT, thank you for the tip. Hail to you. And... Oh, God! Oh, fuck. I'm trying to stream here, man. Jesus. All right, so... all right. Yeah, my answer is I don't know. You guys remember how January 1st started, right? I think we're going to get a lot of that. There are definitely going to be some suspicious mass casualty events and whatnot, but I don't know if they're going to waste it on an inauguration.
It's anecdotal, but the people in my life that are lefties, like it just feels like their fight is like not a sparkle in their eye as it used to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
for sure.
They are defeated. Yeah. And I think they're going to be able to whip them up, but the media doesn't have as much power. They can't whip up quite as much. The fervor's not going to be as high.
Yep.
So
they're not going to make as stupid of decisions as they've made in the past and gotten away with, because they know they can't get away with it now.
Yeah, well, remember, they used to be like firebombing ICE detention facilities and stuff like that.
Yep.
They were firebombing the White House gates.
Yes, catching the cathedral on fire or whatever, or trying to.
Yeah, St. John's. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're going to be able to get back to that, and that's going to really make them mad. So I think that's when they're going to go from protest to let's destroy some power stations along with the Chinese, which we will be talking about momentarily. And of course, we don't forget all of the anti-American Greenland terrorists. Once we invade Greenland and take it over, we're going to create all these terrorists. Oh, wait a second. They actually really like us over there, and apparently they're mad with Denmark. So they're talking about how this is the first time Greenland has been listened to in an intense way. And we need to be calm and take advantage of things and stand together. And how it's basically just about how, mining, cooperation with the United States in defense, and exploring the island's vast mining resources. So it turns out when he's waving his giant orange wiener around, he wasn't actually planning on invading Greenland. He wanted this, and Greenland, it makes no sense when you look at the map. But when you look at the top of the globe and you see how close Russia and everything is, it's like, oh, okay. And there's shipping lanes that go, okay, that makes a lot more sense. And he's not even president yet, and he's already got Greenland on his side. ABF, you got thoughts?
So I've watched a couple of documentaries about people that have been fortunate enough to get permits to mine in Greenland, and they do not give them out to just anybody. It's nearly impossible just to get a permit just to do core sampling.
Mm-hmm.
So the entire place is completely untapped. It's probably worth $1 bajillion. Probably enough to make a Death Star.
And why? Why can't we do that? I think that's gonna be one of the big things. Trump trying to turn the energy back on. I assume a lot of those first executive orders are going to be about doing that. All about those resources, baby. We want prosperity. You get prosperity with cheap energy. You want to make everyone poor, expensive energy, which is what they're all about. Make things scarce. All right, I just mentioned it. FBI's Chris Wray on the way out. It's like, oh, hey, guess what? China's penetrated all U.S. critical infrastructure, and hey, guess what? There's going to be a giant attack on civilian infrastructure.
Under direction of Christopher Wray, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna
like
say.
he was the one in charge, and now he's like, China's just infiltrated us completely. I don't know.
Yeah, I've known about this whole time.
Yeah.
So former National Security Council Senior Director for Cybersecurity under Trump, this enrages me. I left them with the tools they needed to confront this, and it appears those tools went unused for 4 years. Total mismanagement. Mismanagement or conspiracy to destroy the West and create the Chinese century. So that's one of the other things we're going to have to worry about. They're not going to be able to beat them in certain ways. They definitely want to nuke the economy, but that hurts them too much. So things like some fun little power outages, or maybe the internet doesn't work for the East Coast for a day or two.
It's like when we saw cell phone service go offline for almost 24 hours.
Yeah, wait.
If you were like with a
Patriots,
couple of
didn't your service stop working? Oh, yours did too?
Yeah. I was completely without, it was before I had Starlink or anything, and I was completely without any way to contact anyone for almost 12 hours.
Yeah, and you work like out in like remote places and stuff sometimes too, right? So if you were
desert. Yep.
Yeah, and you got no contact there with
nothing.
All right. Oopsie daisy. Hey everyone, I kicked them all. Adam Schiff can't wait to launch another Trump impeachment push. Patriot, you think they're going to be fired up enough to be doing stuff as ballsy as impeachment?
I think it's just another day to them. I think they're just so used to it. They're just going to keep rolling the ball, seeing what picks up.
Their playbook is so small. Like sometimes they just don't know what else to do, you know?
When the people that you're entertaining's brains are very small, you don't need many plays.
Well, here's a crazy thought. What if they actually have evidence that Trump is involved with the Russians?
That would be cataclysmic to his administration, and he might even get impeached and then not removed from office again. So I guess we'll see.
It's so boring at this point. I don't think anyone's really cheering for it.
No.
He said grab him by the pussies, guys. Yeah, that's my question. Do you think the Russia is going to work at all? Because literally, we'll be talking about it if we get to it. In Europe, they're canceling elections because they didn't like that the Conservative Party won so much. So they said, Russia, that doesn't count. We're calling redo. And now they're threatening to do it in Germany as well.
So the only place that'll pick steam back up is after Trump ends the Ukraine and Russia conflict. They will, because they're going to have to cede some of their territory to Russia, because remember the situation
what happens
with Russia
when you lose
was that
the war.
they were completely landlocked from a port that they had taken control of in 2014, and they weren't able to get to it. Then Zelensky, coming into Ukraine, decides to stop Russia from being able to travel through the Donetsk region to get his troops and supplies through there. And that's when he invaded. So they'll have to cede a land bridge to be able to get there. And once they do that, they will start again with the Russia stuff.
That was my exact thought. That, I think, will help fire at the left. If they actually start doing some deportations, I think that's going to really fire them up. ABF, we got the NEWSOM clip. What were you saying, Patriot?
That's what I was going to say. If the deportations really start and they really start moving some people, I think that'll really be like a motivator for the liberals to start doing something.
My children in cages. They're supposed to be in Diddy's and Epstein's cages, not in ISIS. All right. And of course, obviously, a lot of the ending all the trafficking is to help all the women and children who do not have good times getting human trafficked. All right. We just got to play the first 15 seconds of this ABF. Yep. Let's hear it.
How about this? Gavin Newsom, he's the governor of California.
Newsom.
He signed Newsom, I call him.
That's it. But do you think?
No, he corrected me. He corrected me. I said, that's the first time I've been corrected.
There is C.
That's so good.
It's so good.
All right, that's what I want to see more of. Please, Trump, come on.
That look on Trump's face where he's like, "The fuck did you
Yeah,
just
no,
say?"
no. Like, did you just correct me? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need more viral meme stuff for him because they're gonna go crazy. And sometimes we win elections and then our side can get a little, oh well, we can sit back, our guy's in charge. No, we need the base as hyped as possible and as much Trump meme moments as possible to keep that morale high. We need it because I don't know if you guys know this. In the House, we can lose like 2 rhinos. In the Senate, we can lose like 3 rhinos. Yeah. And there are more than those.
It's a very slim margin of victory, and it's not actually victory.
We need to be very, very, very loud because when midterms come around, people don't care as much because there's no president to vote for. So it's usually the opposition party who's the most fired up because they're mad because everyone, Trump's Hitler. So usually the opposition party wins. And that's what happened in his first term. He had all the flip-flopper rhinos, so he couldn't get anything done. And then he lost the House or whatever it was with the midterms.
The House,
and then he couldn't get anything done. So guys, he's in that same situation. We got to get him on the ball. And we got to keep all those Republicans in line. Yeah, Patriot, you've been keeping some Republican feet to the fire. You got any thoughts on that?
Just banging around on X and Spaces, invading them as many as I can, and just trying to tell people don't get relaxed. You know what I mean? Be contacting your representatives. Blow them up weekly. The more times you can tell them what matters to you, the more that's what they're going to be focusing on.
And of course, they probably get lots of emails and messages and whatnot. So sometimes you gotta meet them face to face, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially when you're 6'7" and you dwarf them all, and every handshake is a giant power move against them. What did you yell at one of our? You called.
We know you're a rhino. Yeah, we told him rhino to her face.
Was that our senator? Who was it that you?
For sure.
Yeah, he called us, one of our senators, a rhino to his face. Like, guys, get up off your butt, and you get to call your senators rhinos to their face. All right, more on that later, though. All right, so California Governor Newsom makes $50 million deal with Democrat lawmakers to fight Trump. Wait, what? As LA is burning, they're doing a special session, not even a special session to combat Trump. And they've allocated $50 million, 25 to lawyers and then 25 to justice people or whatever to keep the deportations from happening while LA is burning. And this makes me so happy because people are finally realizing that all this climate change and all that environment crap is really just a bunch of Democrats destroying everything. Speaking of, I had forgotten about this. The LA mayor, Karen Bass, was once considered top vice presidential choice by Biden, praised by Obama as outstanding. Gooch, when we talked about who would be VP, he's like, there's Gavin Newsom, but don't you guys have like other people? And I had to explain to him that Democrats already went through everyone. They don't have a bench. They literally don't have anyone. That's why they had to that's why they had Kamala for VP, and then they replaced by with Kamala. If they had other options, you think we would have had Kamala Harris?
Dude, I remember when Kamala Harris was chosen, and the left, they like sighed. They were like, really? No one liked it. It was crazy.
Yeah, and not to Karen, actual full-blown commie terrorist. Yay. Yes, of course, but we only look at the most recent age, and we may have just gotten out of an ice age. All right, next. All right. It wasn't just the fish they had to save. It was also an endangered shrub. That's why we had to halt the Palisades Fire Safety Project, because of the endangered shrub. But good news, it actually grows really well in like burnt forests. So now it's actually going to grow great, guys. So aren't you happy?
It's amazing. Most vegetation grows back really well after everything burns to the ground. It's almost like wildfires whenever they're not, like forests aren't kept up with and stuff. There's a natural cycle of death and regrowth.
Yeah, you mean climate disaster.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, it's the climate disaster that's been happening
good.
forever.
You're not a climate denier who's really to blame. Okay.
No. Well, am I a climate denier if I would have rather had that 50 million put water in the pipes so that they could put the fire out, or at least try?
That's misinformation, and we'll get to that shortly, ABF.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'll wait my turn.
We need to understand why you're not getting this connection between the climate and the wildfires. For some reason, people are connecting it less and less for some reason. I don't understand. Oh, well, Jen Psaki figured it out. It's Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and Alex Jones spreading misinformation on Twitter.
Oh, it's definitely not that they've changed the policies of upkeeping the forests over the past 30 years. That's got nothing to do with it.
Changed, deleted.
You made me say it. SDGs. All right. And not only Psaki, Jon Stewart attacks Musk for agreeing with Alex Jones. Gasp. All right. Love to see him butthurt. I'll love to see this gentleman here butthurt as well. Billionaire Wright is trying to take California with lies and deceit and by fire.
Yes, because the right has how many billionaires compared to the left? Just does anybody have a
how many estimate? Of those are in fucking California? And big tech. But that's the thing is tech bros, they make so much damn money. Sometimes they have so much money they start liking their independence and become a little more independent minded. So you occasionally get like the Peter Thiels and stuff like that. But now that things have gotten so bad, a lot of them, they have enough money and power and influence where they're allowed to wake up. You know, like Zuckerberg is allowed to go through his based Wigger anime arc. And I support it.
That's the best way I've heard that described, what he's doing right now.
Yes. Dude, he's totally a late 90s Wigger for sure.
Yeah. Wait, who's the super based dude with all the face tattoos? The white dude, the rapper who's always rapping political stuff.
McDonald.
Tom McDonald.
Yeah, Tom McDonald.
Yes,
I want to see them. I want to see them two team up. All right. Speaking of team ups, Adam Carolla scorching them. He was talking about how Californians are finally going to realize how bad things are, and maybe they should stop voting for things to continue being terrible. So yeah, notices that the liberals who supported BLM riots are now getting a taste of their own medicine as their homes are being looted. So the National Guard is pulled in. Funny, National Guard has to be in California and New York City subways. Great.
Crazy.
And there's been lots of stories, lots about looting because we live in Sodom and Gomorrah times here in LA. So I called the National Guard, and the fine people of Santa Monica, Malibu, and Palisades are very happy that the National Guard is now here protecting their homes. Remember when they did gun confiscation during Katrina? And their valuables.
Well, I mean, look at what they did in 2020. Like, California is the most sedated group of people in the country because they all immediately went along with, okay, you can't go to the beach that was outside, right? They would have one person show up to a beach and get arrested because it was only one person that they had to deal with. California is a sedated society.
I totally forgot. Remember the guy who went to the beaches dressed up as the Grim Reaper? All right, sorry. We got a Bigot Army raid in the house, so we got to put on a little show for them.
What's up, Hypno Peeps?
1 second. All right. Always a pleasure to have you here, Bigot Army. Oh, we're talking politics tonight. Oh, fucking shout out to BioT Wolf. And I don't have a producer, so apologize for the incompetence. Always happy to get clapped on. All right, so Adam Carolla tearing it up. Supreme Court denies request to consider climate lawsuits, blah, 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 blah. We are tired of this climate crap. So they say, we don't care. We're going to do it with lawsuits instead.
Well, I wanted to say something earlier, but it's so ridiculous. We have no control over climate change because our country doesn't pollute that much. It's everybody else.
Yeah,
it's so stupid.
I know, it's about to queue up the millions of tires on fire in Africa right now.
Yeah.
Well, it's all about destroying us while China and India, the actual polluters, just keep on polluting even harder and harder. Build new coal plants every single day. It's just about destroying us, just like lockdowns.
Look at what actually happened whenever China and India locked down in 2020. The smog around the earth decreased by like 60% because they locked down for a couple of months. That was all it took. China and India out of the equation. We were good.
During lockdowns, there were a bunch of articles of, oh, there's no more pollution and cars on the road. We should do lockdowns all the time for the environment. Shout out, Bigot Army Raid. Just don't stop. You love to see it. All right, so obviously they're going to do lawfare because if Trump's coming in, National Security Council, you're fired. You're all fired. Like, it's going to be hard for them to do stuff. It's going to be through lawfare. And it's going to be like ACLU is going to be like jumping on the deportation flights, like jumping in front of the runway and putting their bodies. At least there's going to be at least one self-immolation this year. I'm calling it. Actually, let's go. I think there's going to be 2 self-immolations for some leftist cause. Anyone else have any predictions?
I would say there'll be at least one. Yeah.
At least one. You're going 1? Okay.
Yeah,
I'll go ballsy and I'll say there'll at least be 2 self-immolations. No! For me, it was Tuesday. All right, now here's what we really need to talk about while we got the bigot army here, because I'm all about getting the nerds as based as possible. What's this really about? Well, Gavin Newsom is boasting about his LA 2.0, a new Marshall Plan. From the American Psycho here, he's organizing a new Marshall Plan. Can't wait. Smart LA 2028, a smart city initiative. ABF, you know anything about smart cities?
Yeah, so when Lahaina burned down in Maui, it was a very similar situation, by the way. They couldn't control it, didn't have any sort of plan to put it out, and I think they didn't have water also. But during the middle of that, during the aftermath of that, they decided they were going to build a city of the future where Lahaina used to be. Mm-hmm. And that got all the conspiracy theorists' wheels turned in their head. So,
well, a very expensive real estate that's going to need to be rebuilt. And the whole thing is, even if necessarily Gavin Newsom didn't press the button that fired space lasers or whatever, even if they just set up the conditions for this to happen, disaster relief and all this stuff is a big, big business, and there is money to be made, and it's such a valuable piece of land. Even if they didn't press the space laser button, they're definitely going to be cashing in on it. And that's what Smart City 2.0 is about. Or Smart City LA by 2028. Normally they love their 2030. That's what the whole SDGs, UN, Sustainable Development shit's all about. And that's the actual reason for all this smart city crap. It's the same reason in New York now they're charging a congestion tax. You got to pay like $9 to like every day just to drive in New York City.
Well, smart cities are heavily monitored, heavily watched. They have tons of cameras tracking everybody's faces, facial recognition. They're the cities where they try to get you to, put the chip in your hands so that you can just pay for anything that you happen to walk by. And it's the 15-minute city idea of you live within 15 minutes of your job and you never have to do a ton of travel. So you can walk wherever you need to go or ride a simple train car to get wherever you need to. Yep. There it is. The great reset.
This is the comment to the Klaus Schwab. We'll be talking about that in a moment because guess who's meeting on the same day as Trump's inauguration? Yeah, London's all about this. It's a big part of the whole Eat the Bugs. Smart Cities is the Eat the Bugs initiative.
They were trying really hard to get Dubai to make a whole section of a smart city. But I believe that recently they decided that it was not economically feasible for the amount of people they have that would live in the area. So they've ceased construction as of now.
Saudi Arabia's wall, like smart city, that thing's ridiculous.
Yep.
Patriot, got any thoughts on smart cities and how not so smart they might be? We're still getting rated.
I've seen enough of the stuff from China, and that's scary. The kids in schools, and it's tracking their facial features. I mean, that's nuts.
Oh yeah, we will be getting to it because if you want to see a Detroit Pistons game, guess what? You're going to have to get biometric IDs. Yay! Lovely. Also, we actually have a really good clip for the Bigot Army raid. Naughty. Clapping them cheeks, baby. All right, let's get back to Bio T Wolf. TBF, Hypno said to give this to you. You want to read that for us, Hypno? Or Hypno, ABF?
My neighbor claims to have a large collection of classic arcade games, but I think it's just a case of one-upmanship.
5 out of 10.
All right. Yeah. I'm gonna give it a 7.
6. 6 out of 10.
I like it.
I'm feeling better. So my parents, they got an arcade cabinet. Also, shout out by T-Wolf, really appreciate you. An arcade cabinet for Christmas, and they wanted to keep it secret. They also got a pool table, so very hyped because I've always wanted the Galaga Miss Pac-Man machine. So I was hoping they'd just do a 1-up machine. That's what I was hoping for. Instead, they got a sit-down table, which got the controls on one side and then the screen, and then you sit down at the other side. Except It's not official. It's full blown fell off the back of the truck emulator, and like the 2-player games is all backwards, so you can't really play them right. It's so stupid. They've got like they've got dollar store Mario because there's the screen and you got the little cartoon stuff around. You got Donkey Kong, which is just he looks more like King Kong.
Donkey Kong.
Yeah, like dollar store Pac-Man Ghost and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I appreciate you guys so much for buying this $1,000 arcade cabinet, but like, why you really should have consulted me, and I would have probably told them to get a 1-up. I want either the Blitz or NBA Jam 1-up. Like the chances of me owning one of those someday are very high. I need them in my life. Thankfully, they have both of them at the barcade around me. Which Patriot, you gotta go to the barcade with us next time. No dad joke, just subscribe. If it's a badass, thank you. My channel is under attack. I lose subscribers way too much. I love you guys. Shout out Bigot Army Raid. Like and subscribe. Literally, my channel's under attack. Save me, Hypno. Shout out Hypno. Always appreciate everything you've done for me, buddy. All right. So let's see. Gavin Newsom's got his smart cities. So January 20th, we got Trump coming in. Big ol' inauguration day. Yes, 100%. It's so funny. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, I wonder if this is an emulator. And then I looked at the Mario, and he's just like a plumber with a red shirt. I'm like, this is an emulator game. Oh, it's got 500 games, you say? All right, I can't wait to see all of the duplicates. My favorite is there's Donkey Kong, but you can also play Donkey Monkey, and I actually prefer Donkey Monkey myself. All right, so January 20th, we got the inauguration. We also have Davos 2025,
the
baby.
World Economic Forum, baby. It's happening the same week.
Gotta change the hats out. 1 second.
All the private plane people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The private plane, we are going to determine the policies that the entire rest of the world gets to live by. Crazy that it's happening on inauguration week.
Mm-hmm.
The people who are going to be fighting against Trump globally as he tries to come in with a new agenda. Yeah.
Yeah, the people who don't want us to be able to drive cars but own private planes. Yes, those people. And let's see.
You will own nothing and love it.
Yes, 100%. That is this. They want us to rent our lives. Let's see. An age of economic non-normality, but also a sense of remarkable resistance. The AI alarm bell sounded, but we also saw excitement building for what can help us achieve. It's just a bunch of fluff nonsense. I was going through collaboration for the intelligent age. That's what they're calling like this AI sci-fi dystopia. Their current term for it is intelligent age. So like smart city. They're literally turning, like we got iPhone and iPad. They're trying to give us like iSociety essentially.
So I'll say if anybody's going to be watching some of these speeches that they give at the World Economic Forum, I would say look out for people using the word belonging. Yeah, because that is part of bridge, and that's the thing that's moving in.
Oh, Hayden, Patriot, I bet he doesn't know about bridge.
What's today's secret word?
But yes, no, belonging. I think we'll get there. And also, don't worry, I'll piss you off a little bit later with some Robbie Starbuck. All right, so societal revolution. One that has the power to elevate humanity or indeed to fracture it. So that's what they're going to say is we need to do our world order where we're going to elevate humanity into being our slaves and eating bugs. Or else Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and Alex Jones, they're going to fracture it with misinformation. And then crazy things will happen. Like in Romania, a conservative party will win really big. So we have to cancel the election. Do a do-over, guys. All right, blah, blah, blah.
People made decisions, yeah.
Reimagining growth. Reviving and reimagining growth is... What? More resilient? I don't know. Industries in the intelligent age. Yeah, major geoeconomic technological shifts. I can't wait for you guys to be in charge of that. Safeguarding the planet? Oh, global climate and nature goals? I can't wait. And all this just sounds like a bunch of fluff, but these are the people between ESG and the SDGs. These are the salesmen that take those UN SDGs and they push it down onto all the money men and the global leaders. So that way, when you look at all the corporations' ESG reports, you see all those funny little orange circles or like a red square, and there'll be like a little number there, and Hayden getting crazy up in here. And those are the SDGs in that ESG, and the men pushing it in, that transition, that's the WEF. And I'm so sorry that there are so many acronyms. I wish there weren't. That's why we just say woke, because trying to teach like normies the acronyms is so hard.
They like it that way. They like it that we're in the unknown.
Yeah. And then once people finally figure out bridge, then they switch it to something else, you know?
Yep. 100%. They will. And bridge, again, is a change of tactics, not just a change of terminology. So they'll change the terminology, but they're adjusting the tactic that they're using to get this into companies and get this into people's lives.
SDGs at the very top, and then bridge like at the bottom, worming its way into everything like a fucking cancer.
It's coming from under DEI terms that we're all used to, and it's pushing its way up through that to try to spread the tendrils into every aspect of your life so that you have to live that way, or you don't get to exist in the society that they have decided that we are going to live in.
Straight through jail.
Be careful!
They're acronyms, yeah. God, I know. DEI. Don't get me started on CRT. All right, next one. And we often talk about this. They were failing on the DEI push, all the woke crap. What's the other side of the woke coin? All the environmental crap. And that's what these pieces of crap are all about pushing. The SDGs, all that sustainable development 2030 crap, and then that's where like the Klaus Schwabs came out, and then you got like the Bilderberg group people. Basically, the WEF is just the UN SDG people and the Bilderberg people smushed together.
Yeah. And then so all the SDG stuff, now remember, that started as the climate change crowd. They started failing there. So then they pushed into DEI. Now DEI is failing. And what are they doing? They're falling back to their climate change stuff so that they can get the SDGs in, because that is their goal for the future of the planet.
Their goal is social change. And I imagine a lot of the topic for this year's forum is going to be, how can we slow down people turning into right wingers after we locked them down for a year?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What's up, Scott?
No idea what you're talking about. Shout out Jesus. Thank you for the gifty. And if you ever hear like stakeholder capitalism, that's perfect, because stakeholder capitalism, that incorporates all the environmental crap and all the woke crap. And then, so yeah, groups like Council for Inclusive Capitalism, they're not working out so well anymore, because ESG is getting effed up, which is why they're having to change the terms, which like BlackRock's Larry Fink pointed out how we ruin the term. So they can't use ESG anymore. They got to change the name. Patriot, you got any thoughts on all this ESG, all these fucking acronyms?
Yeah, I've seen it a little bit creeping into my life personally, just from like my kids in school, the CRT.
You can feel all the equity coming into your life.
Oh, absolutely. All the equity. But I mean, just like my son, the other day he said something. He's like, we were learning about how white people are lazy, so they went and got black people to be their slaves. And it's just like, yeah, it's like just the way that they are telling me that they're learning history is insane.
Yeah. Stakeholder. Yep. You're 100% right. Stakeholder is one of their keywords that you need to look for, because so there are shareholders and there are stakeholders, and shareholders are the people who own shares in a company or have something directly to do with it. Stakeholders, they try to use that terminology to talk about anybody who works in a field that produces cotton that eventually goes up to, say, like Levi's or some clothing company. Those people all hold stake in the company, because if something happens to the company, their jobs are damaged, including all of the people who invest in those companies. So they take shareholders and workers and try to make them into one thing by calling them stakeholders. That's one of those highlight words that you guys should be looking for whenever they start talking about that stuff.
It's equality and equity, 100%.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Right. ABF, do you have a private jet yet?
No, I don't.
Working on it.
I'm sure this private jet this gentleman has is going to take him straight to his mega yacht where he's got 10,000 gallons of diesel he's ready to burn. So
he made sure to save the environment, that we couldn't do any sort of forestry, and then he escaped the wildfires in his private jet, presumably to go to the World Economic Forum. Finally, people are seeing through this crap.
Mm-hmm.
Patriot, you're a little newer to this, and I know you're like, God, people aren't waking up fast enough, and I get it, but how fast you've woken up is insane, and the fact that people are seeing through all the wildfire stuff and not blaming the climate and blaming the actual Democrats, I love to see it. I see the tide turning. What about you, Patriot?
I love it too. I mean, I think at this point, everyone. I mean, I hate love to praise Elon, but at this point, X has archived enough things for us to, months ago, Trump's talking about there's no water here. Months ago, Tucker was interviewing somebody talking about the risk of fire in California is imminent, and it's like almost like they're trying to usher it.
That's what I'm saying. Even if they don't press the space laser button, they set up the whole situation and then they take advantage of it.
Yeah, it's just nice to see everyone continue to regurgitate factual instead of the facade.
That's what I don't know what they're gonna do because their playbook's so small and their plays don't work anymore.
Well,
so they're
here's
just have
the
to
thing
think
about
bigger.
Marxists. And these are Marxists. Don't get it twisted. I know I will always have people in the comments of my videos and stuff like that saying that's not Marxism because they start talking about like the old school Marxism. But if you look at the tactics that are being used, these are the tactics of an ideological takeover and the tactics that Marx had said you needed to use. Now, their playbook is small, but it's also ever evolving, even in subtle ways that allow them to go under the radar for a short amount of time. But they just change it enough that once we see it, we think we've got a victory. We don't really have a victory because they are ever changing. Marxists are slimy little worms, and they will wriggle out of any grasp you can get them in. And we have to stay on top of that.
Yeah, there's a lot of things they move in to get their grubby little hands. And David, I apologize. StreamYard, I have to pay $88 a month if I want to have another admin on here. I was hoping I'd be able to have ABF, but I got screwed, so I have to do this all myself. If I ever miss, please tell me. I love you guys. Davos, private planes, 93 octane convoys, high dollar prostitute. Yeah, the prostitutes love the World Economic Forum. Rarest caviar and meat, dirty deals done dirt cheap. They're the Gray Nebula. That's 1984. They are the epitome of hypocrites and elitists, and they will be lucky if we let them go into exile, let's say, and they need to pull Mark Zuckerberg's, or exile will be lucky for them. But also, we don't really need them shooting off nukes, so maybe we can exile them a little bit. Build a wall around them. Squid Game 3. All right, no, wait, Squid Game 4. No, they wanted an American Squid Game.
Hey, put as many they, thems, and those kind of characters that I don't like in there as possible.
We
Have
could.
like green light first.
So they're... Planet Hulk is where they're like, Hulk, you're too dangerous, so they shoot Hulk into space and just make him like some other planet's problem. I like that idea as well. I know, right, Kata? I was really looking forward to introducing my friend to my VTuber friend. But no, he had to go flesh tumor.
Not this week.
Yeah, see, that's... Putting people against the walls don't always work out the best. Yes, they begin all up in the Earth thing. Yes, that's what I'm saying, but we do it with the elites and possibly the illegals. All right, what's this all really about? They're a bunch of eugenicists, and they are absolutely obsessed with depopulating us. And where did that whole religious fervor come from? Paul Ehrlich's The Population Bomb. We have such a population bomb that China had to get rid of their one-child policy and basically are like want people to have more children because even their gigantic population is on the decline. Japan, Korea are in the negatives hard. Hell, white people, we aren't even having enough babies. And they're all like, oh, there's too many people because we shoved a bunch of poor idiots into the city and there's too many of them. And I want to kill them off so I don't have to wait in traffic, essentially.
But the Georgia Guidestone said we can only have a certain amment of people.
100?
Somebody blew those up. Don't worry about that.
I know. Yeah. No.
Is someone driving a Honda Civic or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the eugenicists, they got a lot. They're Malthusians and what have you. Yeah. Eugenics and depopulation is what all the smart city climate crap is really about. And then what is all that about? Like, how are they going to carry out the mass depopulation? Because they can't just kill billions of people without us rising up against them. Well, they got to put us into a sci-fi dystopia slave grid. How do they do that? Well, first step is most important, digital ID. Obviously, digital money is going to be next and is the most important, but we're practically already there with our debit cards. Detroit Pistons, Patriot, you used to watch some basketball.
Yeah.
Say you went to one of the games and they said, "Oh, we're going to need to do a biometric verification for you. Please scan your face or your fingerprint." What would your response be?
I guess we're turning around.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
I'll give him my finger.
There you go. So one of the first renditions of the digital ID stuff is something that they've already been slowly implementing on us, and it's the real ID on your license. So that is a database that tracks way more than you think it does, and they're able to follow you with that real ID to where you're at, where you're supposed to be. That's the early process that they started doing. And they've recently, as soon as I believe it was 2023 was when they first told us, hey, if you're going to fly on a plane, you have to have a real ID. Now that ended up falling through.
I don't have one.
I really hope the threat.
I really hope Trump gets rid of it. I'm not getting it.
I do too.
Because when are we supposed to make that change by? Do I need to get that when I fly to Orlando?
Well, and see, that's what. So whenever I was flying to Vegas,
didn't it just happen? I thought it was January, wasn't it?
They might have just put it into place.
Also,
I can bring my passport.
Yeah, you can also have your passport.
There we go.
Because I already have one, but
kind
of weird to bring that.
I've got that book too.
Remember those fun little tattoos they had? Well, those numbers they put into some of the first counting machine computers that IBM created for them. Almost like some sort of IDing system to keep track of their prisoners. Weird. Sure would hate if we did a digital version of that.
That way you don't have to get a tattoo, and it's non-invasive. It's just a thing that you just do. Yeah.
That's what they say. It's all about the ease and the security. No, later reclaim the net. Jeez. All right, so it's through ID.me is the name of the company. It's to streamline services for the community, for like season ticket holders, loyalty program members. You want your program points, right? Well, just download this app to your brain chip. And groups like blah blah blah. Oh yeah, you want to get your senior discount? Sounds good. Download this on your phone. Oh, you might lose the phone. Well, I guess we better brain chip you then and put it on there for your convenience. Yeah, here we go.
I think one of the important things to bring up is this happens before a brain chip.
Yeah,
we all walk around with.
I was going to say we all already care. Yeah.
That's where it starts.
Yeah, correct.
You put it all on your phone, and then it's not. Oh, you agreed to get a brain chip. It's you're already carrying around the device that they can use to do this. And they'll just say, oh, yeah, to pay your taxes for the IRS now, you just download our mobile app. You put in your email address, your phone number, your social security, and then we're good. And you can just make payments to us for your taxes and stuff. That's how you do it now.
Oh,
it's
you want
mandated.
Your social security payments. You want them easier. You're old and stuff. You don't know how computers work. Let's just put it in your brain chip because that's more secure and frictionless. It's so easy to be a slave in the sci-fi dystopia. ABF, don't you want the ease?
What? Why use that word frictionless?
Frictionless.
That's so weird to describe.
I gotta take my wallet out and I gotta take the debit card. It's so frictionful.
Oh, you know what? That's causing global warming. All the
more
friction.
Global warming, absolutely.
And all my farting.
Yeah, well,
but mandatory butt plugs for everyone.
Let's not get carried away.
But people can steal your wallets, but they can't steal your brain chips, except I've played Cyberpunk and you can most certainly steal people's brain chips. You can set them on fire. You can make them. Yeah. All right. So enough of that for now. All right. So ABF, your dumbass attorney general, which turns out is a woman. I just assumed it was and ended up being right. Not a misogynist. Yes. Thank you very much. As we continue, Jack Smith's lawfare, because Jack Smith's out because yeah, bye bitch. But don't worry, Arizona Attorney General is going to continue the TDS because Jan 6 must live forever. All right, speaking of state attorney generals, Kinsey Institute. Patriot, you got up off your butt and you started whispering in our state attorney general's ear about this Kinsey Institute, a stain on our state. It's at Indiana University, and these pieces of shit are part of the whole sexual revolution, trans, LGBTQ crap. And then when you get into all these old school, like, scientists who are the first, like, the sexual revolutionary people, the people who are behind all the LGBTQ trans stuff, it's like probably 90% of them were about how sexual relations between adults and children is normal and healthy. Like 90% of these LGBTQ pioneers were also heavy on the P of the LGBTQ people.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
It's disgusting. Patriot, so you might have spoken some words in someone's ear about this, and hopefully
I've just been sharing a lot of the information as much as I can with some people that, you know, doing the work for us. And luckily here in Indiana, we have an amazing attorney general. So
one of the best in the country.
You circulate enough shit smelling stuff around them, they got to get a whiff of it eventually.
Yeah, because he didn't even know about Kinsey Institute, whereas Hayden, have some thoughts on it. You want to give us some thoughts on the Kinsey Institute and how it's a stain on our nation?
So for anybody who doesn't know, the Kinsey Institute is the institute that had the original couple of studies that came out that were saying that diversity, equity, and inclusion needed to be included in every workplace and needed to be in everybody's life, because they were the ones that found out that that was more profitable and that it was bringing people more happiness. And they completely made everything up. It was a complete bullshit fest that they had, where they all just decided to get together, write these papers, and then start affecting everything else in our country. The Kinsey Institute deserves to be evacuated, burned to the ground, and then the people who are still alive that started it should be told to face the wall.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that place was founded on diddling little kids.
In Minecraft, yeah.
Shut it down. When we're taking damn like statues down and vandalizing them, yeah, I think we can get rid of this institute.
Kinsey Institute is the reason for all of this shit. They were the first ones that produced the academic papers
integral.
that
It's
led us
absolutely
down
integral.
this path.
Yeah, as integral as John Money and all of those sick fucks.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah, Wilhelm Reich as well, I believe German, also responsible for a lot of that sexual revolution.
Yep.
The 60s screwed up a lot. They created a lot of our modern problems. They really fudged up in the 60s. All right, Aiden, cover your ears. Robbie Starbuck took down McDonald's. Oh, wait, actually, I need to send this to you, ABF. You'll be happy to hear. Oh, sorry, this link is going to be so fucking long. I hate Twitter links when it does it from the redirected site, and then it's 7 freaking lines of a link. So he mentions how they are, he got some concessions, the usual HRC and all that crap, which that's important because they have their corporate equality index, which is basically the corporate social credit score. So that sort of stuff's good. They're hitting the diversity goals for hiring. One thing with Bridge is they're all about making sure the suppliers are diverse enough as well. So they're going after that with that. I know, Aiden, I know. But here, though, their diversity team will be evolving this year into simply an inclusion team. I explained in the video how I feel about this. ABF, if you can pull it up, assuming the gigantic link actually worked. Fingers crossed.
I'll just say this real quick.
Yeah, say it.
I don't know if Robbie Starbuck knows how to read.
All right, take it to a minute 50, ABF. Yeah,
right.
Sorry, Patriot. Hayden, so Hayden was just like walking his puppy, and Robbie Starbuck kicked it, and he really hates him. More on that later. All right, Play the clip.
Fan of, and I'm not happy with when companies do this. They are evolving how they refer to their diversity team, which will now be the global inclusion team. I think it's ridiculous. We don't need these teams, okay? It is a job. It is a workplace. You go there to work. People don't need a team assigned at corporate to making sure everybody feels included, okay? We're not kindergartners. We're adults. It's a workplace. It's a place people go to shop. Just provide great service, be kind, do the right thing, be fair. And if you're a company executive, lay down the hammer when somebody breaks the law. Everybody's all for that, but there's no need for DEI teams at all. No need for a diversity team. I don't care what you call it. People have had enough of this, and I think it's time that everybody speaks up and that we get rid of this infantile way.
Yeah, so he agrees with you, Hayden. He doesn't think it's enough either.
He's finally starting to see that he's been wrong with every company that he has said is abandoning their DEI stuff. They're not. They say it in the statements. We are still committed to diversity, belonging, and inclusion.
But Hayden, the McRib returns.
Yeah,
Trump got the McRib back.
That's true. Yeah.
Irwin's that
It
dog
should come with a signature
squirrel.
orange barbecue sauce this round.
Speaking of signature orange people, another ginger down being replaced by a black woman. Chuck Todd's out at NBC and he's shopping around to get another job. And why would anyone want to hire him? I just thought it was funny. Another ginger got replaced by a black woman. And we will be continuing to document the mainstream media's downfall. If RFK Jr. bans Big Pharma from advertising, they are all screwed so hard. Yeah, the McRib itself is terrible, but I do like the sauce. McRib sauce for the win. It's
you like sugar is what you mean to say.
Yeah. It's like I was really happy when Arby's started selling like Arby's sauce and horsey sauce by itself, because then it's like, oh, I can get the best part of Arby's without having to go to Arby's. Oh, sorry, Petra. I do like Arby's. I do. But there's also Arby's in it, so. All right. DNC taps Kamala campaign's viral wizards to combat online misinformation. It's like the female version of information during Trump's second term. All right, so all of the broads behind her social media team who thought like she should totally be Brat. Let's have like Brat Summer with Kamala. All those broads. Actually, I believe there's a picture of them. Let's pull up. This is our current opposition. They will be the ones fighting back against all the misinformation.
Good.
They all look like they're about 20. Look at that waist. Where that is up past her belly button. Oh wait, actually, let's take bets. All right, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 12-ish people here. How many cats do you think they own? I'm saying total 35 cats. That's an average of about 3. I'm going to say 33 cats. You guys got any guesses on the amount of cat ownership? That's almost 3 cats.
So I'm gonna say 25 because I think there's about 4 of them there that don't have the money management skills to be able to like maintain a pet as well.
They had it. They had to like
give the outside cat. Okay, it's there.
Yeah.
No, they had a cat. They had to give it to their parents though in the suburbs to take care of it for them.
No joke, but my neighbor that lives on my street, that's the most liberal on the street, has I'm not even joking, like 15 cats.
Jeez. That's the thing though, and then they pee and they got the parasites and they literally mind control you into getting more cats. It's real. Look it up. All right, so let's see, back to this, and yeah, we will be getting out of here shortly. Just got a few more tabs. All right, the fact Post is the Twitter account. This is the official rapid response page of the Democrat Party, holding Trump and MAGA extremists accountable. Welcome to Fact Post.
I'm glad we have this because community notes on these guys is going to be a riot.
Yeah, I was like, wait, I need to click on this and check because I bet every single one of them is going to get community noted. I'll see if
I'm going to go
follow
them right now, actually.
All right, no community notes yet. Yeah, we need to make sure people follow them so we can. Well, actually, let's see how many they have following. Let's see.
It also seems like the people doing the community notes, like they're trying to be funnier about how they deliver them. Have you noticed that?
Oh yeah,
yeah. They often, they're usually like the star of the show. You love to see it. And comments are actually really important. That's why a lot of like websites had to destroy their comment sections because all the trolls and whatnot would attack them and say a lot of things you should not be saying, and you get all the spam bots and whatnot. A lot of them had to destroy them, and why that is because they're finding that people were more influenced by comments on news articles than by the news articles themselves. That's one of the reasons why I love Asmongold Clips channel is I go through the comments, because seeing what all the commenters are saying, that's how you see just how base people are at. And that's why someone like Asmongold being a little more on the normie side, really good to see what the commenters are saying. And they hate comments and they hate social media because they hate us having a voice. And when we do have a voice, the European Union decides, sorry, we're going to redo that election. In Romania, Conservative Party surprise big victory in like the first round of election. And then Europe's weird. They do like multiple rounds of elections and crap like that. So they're like, they won too much. So Russia interfered, so we're canceling it and we're doing a redo, so that way we can try to all just get behind one candidate instead of having a bunch of candidates and splitting the vote. So just full-blown mafia tactics. And then this EU guy full-blown just says, we did it in Romania and we will do it in Germany if necessary, as translated from French. But basically, if the AfD wins, EU's just saying, we're just going to say no. Sorry.
We're gonna say no and just redo it whenever we decide it's appropriate.
And meanwhile, Trump, my democracy. And then they're like, all right, this one, I feel like ABF and Patriot might have a few thoughts on this. Goodbye, ATF. GOP lawmakers introduced bill to abolish the Bureau. ABF, is this a fuck yes or a hell yes? Hell yes from you.
I'm just in favor of whatever abolishes the NFA. I want to have full auto modern firearms.
Patriot, do you feel like that's a reasonable opinion to have?
Absolutely. More bangs, less trigger pulls. We need it.
Yes.
Yes. I always love the police chiefs and sheriffs who are always like, when someone shoots a home intruder and they're like, good job, keep up the good work. That's what we need more.
Sheriff in was it Dayton County, Florida, who's like, if somebody breaks into your home, shoot him.
Yeah.
yeah. And
all the Florida sheriffs are so badass. I remember like some videos, like a music video of like the drones coming in. They got like 40 dudes and like SWAT things, and he's like calling out some local gang member, like, we'll be here, and like, we're standing strong. And they all got ARs and vests on. It was so awesome.
It's awesome.
Who's the sheriff in Polk County? He did a lot of funny YouTube
videos, the older dude
stuff. Yeah, he's like, if any BLM protesters decide to protest in your house, you have my permission to blow them back out of your house.
Please save the taxpayer some money.
And
please take care of them for us. Valiant, shout out, thank you so much. Someone has previously already broken the gifty, so none of them went through. YouTube will probably send you an email refunding you. I swear I didn't do it. I would love to accept your gifties and I appreciate them so much. But heads up, I swear I did not reject him. I would never ever even think of it. Chat's just too girthy. Right. YouTube can't handle it.
Grady Judd. That's his name.
It's like I know some of my gifties went through, but I didn't see if all of them did. I wasn't paying attention.
Oh yeah, you were probably the one who was too good.
I might have broken. Yeah.
I appreciate you guys either way. I said I'm not complaining. I was just when people get it's been refunded. It's like what's going on? So yeah, I appreciate you, and that's why I swear I'm happy to accept it. YouTube, my channel's under attack. All right, of course there's Lauren Boebert who went ahead and filed the legislation. And is she a plant, or am I allowed to be attracted to her?
Well, I don't think any of us would turn down a night at the theater with her, if you know what I mean.
My wife.
I had forgotten, but now I'm remembering. All right, so yeah, it happens a lot. Our chat is built different. We literally break YouTube. All right, so blah blah blah. I will say let's do some big ol' constitutional carry reciprocity for every state. Fuck all you gun grabbing states. You can't do it no more. Reciprocity, bitch, would be really nice. All right, last one. Taxes. Either go flat tax or you got to go high national sales tax. Regardless, if we can eliminate the IRS and income tax, I feel like the alternative can't be worse than that, right?
Did you see what Trump he said something today, maybe it was this week, but he said something about a foreign revenue service.
External revenue
Yes.
service.
Oh, that was that
the
it? Yeah.
ERS to collect tariffs. Yeah.
So, yeah. Not sure how I feel about creating a new agency, but
yes, but still, just make a.
If it replaces the IRS,
Yeah,
I mean,
for
okay,
sure.
a 1-for-1 trade, like maybe that's okay.
23% sales tax, though. Is that too? I'm like, get it down to 20% and we can talk.
well, okay, what happens right now is you pay taxes on the money that you earn, and then you bring that to the store and you still pay upwards of 10% tax there. So if it's just only on the things that you're buying, you're getting off pretty well in the end there. It's gonna allow it, how they're always saying tax the billionaires. Well, when they buy a lot of shit, they gotta pay 23% on it. So
You know who else finally pays taxes? All the goddamn illegals who don't pay their taxes. So now all of a sudden, you want to buy things, you're paying tax, retard. Welcome to
here's-
America.
On taxes, here's the other thing I think a lot of people just don't understand because they're not actually taught. But if you work a job and they automatically take your taxes out of your paycheck, then whenever you get that check back in February or, whenever it is, it's not that the government is giving you money. It's that the government stole so much money from you over the course of a year that they can't even justify it. So they have decided to give you some of it back. If you weren't having that taken out of your check, you would already have more money.
Yeah, and they don't pay you interest on it, but when you underpay, you owe them interest.
Federal withholding
fees.
is the way that we get rid of income tax. If the government wasn't allowed to just take that money from your employer before you ever see it, we would get to a point that 60% of people in the United States are not paying their taxes at the end of the year, and they wouldn't be able to continue functioning.
Tax revolt, baby. There's also the option of flat tax, do like a 10% and 15%. That's sort of like levels. My whole thing, they're like, let's tax the rich. We need to tax the poor. You guys make money. You see what you pay. People who make money are the ones paying all of the fucking taxes. Half of people don't pay income taxes, and then those are the fuckers taking all of the resources. So, if you want all the welfare, how about crazy idea? You pay into the taxes 5%, not 0%. Pay.
Yeah,
you want to talk about people
living EBT, selling plates, and then still collecting a tax check, never paying into it.
Yeah, we're talking about paying your fair share. How about you start paying your fair share, or Squid Game 3.
It's not fair because the top 1% pay 99% of the taxes. And yet those numbers change as you scale it. But, whenever you get somewhere, I'll just say
they have money.
I pay almost 50% of what I make a year in taxes.
I guarantee you pay more than that, because once you buy things,
whenever you add
with the state and federal, sales tax,
absolutely.
And then when you die and pass it on, they get to tax it all again.
Tax you for dying and tax they get to tax you for dying and passing it on, and then they get to tax your kids for taking that. So,
and then there's property tax too. So if you own a home, you have to pay even more.
Or you get taxed and pay into Social Security, and then you finally get to collect Social Security, and then they tax your Social Security check, which Trump is working on changing. All right, we are done with Taz at that hour and a half mark. ABF, you got any 2 streams at least coming up tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yes, I have Trigger Happy, and that will lead into Late in Game with the GCA.
Trigger Happy? That's what we're calling it?
Yeah, that's the name of the show.
Oh yeah, I remember now. I remember the thumbnail. Yes, I like it.
The thumbnail's terrible. We're trying to rework it. That was just a placeholder.
I feel you. Effective. Hayden, you got anything you want to plug, buddy?
Yeah, I'm on Late and Gay with the GCA tomorrow night. And then just kind of around the internet until I kind of get my channel worked back out. Still working on trying to figure out some time, but I will have new videos coming soon. So you guys be waiting on that.
what I like to hear. And then post in link. Patriot, where can they find you at on x.com?
Patriots View 89. Always in X spaces banging around, arguing with somebody.
Yeah, he actually gets on like he gets to talk on people's spaces where they got like hundreds of thousands of followers,
yeah,
right?
For sure. Yeah. If you just keep hitting the request button long enough, eventually somebody will let you up.
Yeah, and that's how he started. And then he decided to go get up off his butt. And now he's literally like red pilling our state attorney general and stuff like that.
Nice.
Get up off your butt. Magic happens. All right, so I don't have an official outro for this yet. I'll probably just keep doing the old one, but I really enjoyed that intro, so I'm going to go ahead and play it again for the outro because I really enjoyed that. Thank you so much for joining us. Hypno rating us. I might have hit my new all-time concurrence, so appreciate that. We definitely did not time this around him ending at all. No, I have no idea what you're talking about. Thank you so much for the support. Intro!
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
You're a really dull class.
We're going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, which has a beautiful ring.
Biden crime family.
Why? You're getting nervous, man.
How dare you?
And Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys.
There is.
You're wrong.
Puerto Rico. I will never apologize for standing up for an LBT. I intend to resign as party leader. LGBTQ2 plus kids' rights.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
As prime minister.
The level of admiration I actually have for China.
Oh, son of a...
But he called her a third-rate politician. He said there are communists involved, and you guys might like that.
Good morning. Sunday morning.
Shut up, silly woman. America will never be a socialist country.
Oh, I'm in trouble.
America was founded on liberty and independence, and not government coercion, domination, and control.
To collapse the liberal international order. He is the smartest man I know. You know the thing.
It's the Donald! Oh my God!
No, but it's not about, I know.
Everybody's always blaming me for everything.
Called the wrap-up smear.
It's estimated that 200 million people have died, probably by the time I finish this talk.
Please clap.
If you guys think of any other clips you want in there, let me know. I'll keep an eye on chat as we end this stream. Bye, everyone.
Hey,
Miss you guys.